Hi everyone, welcome to the PoliticAL update with me, Alexandra Acker-Lyons. I follow the political news so you don't have to. This is the advice I give to millionaires and you're getting it for free. It is Friday, October 10th. I'm a little fancy today because we're doing our family photo shoot. My son wants to wear his blazer. He loves an excuse to dress up. Not like every day. He's all about the soft pants during the week, but the kid loves a blazer, loves a bow tie. So we're all gonna get a little dressy, even though it's like still in the 70s here in Denver, but try to look a little holiday-y. So hope that all of you are starting to prep for the holidays. I love Halloween, but I do start buying, we call it Christmas birthday because we do Hanukkah, Christmas, and my son's birthday in December, so it's a lot. I have to start shopping early and in full effect. Okay, candidate news. In Tennessee 7, the primaries happened there for the special election, and Afton Ben won the Democratic primary. It was a crowded field on both sides. She's a terrific candidate. This is a district that Trump won by 20 points. It is still very hard for her to win. But several organizations are polling there to see if it's possible to pull off an upset and like what an upset that would be, knowing that special elections tend to have lower turnout and that could benefit her. It's also not like a super rural district. So I'll keep you posted on that if it looks like there is an opportunity there. Also, Janet Mills, the governor of Maine, is expected to announce her Senate campaign next week. We're hearing Tuesday morning. That could change to take on Susan Collins. But at the same time, there are other candidates in that primary, including Graham, who's getting a ton of attention and raising a ton of money. And I'm not sure that running an older career politician against an older career politician is the way we should go. But I can be convinced otherwise. So looking forward to that and kind of looking forward to how she makes the case for her candidacy. Amy McGrath has announced again for Senate in Kentucky. You may remember she ran 6 years ago against Mitch McConnell. Really stellar resume, and a great first-time candidate. She raised a of money and wound up losing by I think 16 points. So even though we have a Democratic governor in Kentucky, gubernatorial races are very different than federal races. Federal races become nationalized. People go to their partisan corners more. This is still, I would say, a near impossible race for her to win. If Governor Andy Beshear were running, I might have a different story there, but he's not. So I'll talk more about this a little bit on expanding the map, but we have to be smart about where we're putting our money. Emily's List has endorsed Juliana Stratton in the primary for Senate in Illinois. There is another woman running there, Congresswoman Robin Kelly. She really doesn't have a path. And there is, I have a fly like Mike Pence in the debate. There is a incredibly well-funded male challenger here. And I think it is important to coalesce support behind Lieutenant Governor Stratton. She has been endorsed by Governor Pritzker, was his running mate, and hopefully he will put some of his fortune behind her to help boost her candidacy, but proud of Emily's List for taking that stand. And then we have seen some not great videos come out in the last few days about my girl, Katie Porter. I have said before, I am ride or die Katie Porter. I do not want to defend her behavior here. There was one recent verbal altercation with a reporter where, she was just kind of snippy. And then a video from 4 years ago where she was yelling at a staffer. Porter has apologized. I do want to lift up the double standard here and say that President Joe Biden was known for having a temper and yelling at staff. Congressman Derek Van Orden made headlines a couple of years ago for yelling at a group of college students who were laying down in the Capitol Rotunda to take some cool pictures. There is definitely some sexism happening here with the double standard about how we treat female candidates versus how we treat male candidates and electeds. And I just want to call that out. Okay, other political news. We are in the countdown to New Jersey and Virginia. Both Abigail and Mikey had debates this week. They did extremely well in them. Still feeling pretty good about Virginia, even though there has been quite a scandal around the Democratic Attorney General candidate there, Jay Jones, who were some texts where he was, he has now said jokingly condoning some violence against political opponents, have really rocked that race. Again, there is never an excuse for political violence, but Spamberger is still, up by high single or low double digits. Mikey in New Jersey, it's a slightly more narrow margin. Most polls are showing kind of 6 or 7 points. So there is definitely still a need to give in both races. Mikey has already reached her cap for what you can give and still accept the matching funds in New Jersey. Great system, go New Jersey. There are other ways to support her. And then Virginia has unlimited donations. So consider making an additional donation there. And if you live close to either state, go knock some doors. Nothing more fun than a beautiful fall day and going out and getting your steps in and helping democracy. Okay, other news. There was a Reuters story about how Stephen Miller, we need a sound effect for him, is cracking down on progressive groups, intermediaries, and funders. This has been kind of circling out there for a while. All of this is like total bullshit. They keep talking about Antifa like it's like a real organization. And I saw a hilarious post on social media a couple of weeks ago that if Antifa was a real organization, I would be getting texts from them every day to give money. So a couple of people might identify as Antifa, but like it's not a thing. So the big thing I kind of want to say, and I can't go into a lot of detail for obvious reasons, is like the groups are ready. The funders are ready. They have known that this is coming for a long time. They have plans, they have backups, they have amazing legal counsel. So hopefully judges will like throw out these ridiculous charges and lawsuits. And, they do have some tools in their toolbox, but we are ready to defend our work. And stay tuned for more if and when, this escalates. Relatedly, a prosecutor has brought charges that are total bullshit against New York Attorney General Tish James. We also anticipate these being thrown out immediately. Her statement yesterday was excellent. It's a video. Definitely encourage you to take a look at that. And unfortunately, even though they're bullshit charges, she will need a lot of money for a legal fund. So if you're able to, go give there. I will try to find that link and put it in the notes. And then it looks like we might have a peace deal in the Middle East. Hamas has agreed to a ceasefire and to release the hostages perhaps as soon as Monday, which is fantastic news. Credit where credit is due. Trump finally put some pressure on Netanyahu and the government to make this happen. It did not happen in time for him to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Not that I think he was going to anyway. But they have given it to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I am excited to learn more about her work. And I think probably nothing made Donald Trump more mad than this Nobel Peace Prize that he has long coveted going to a Latina from Venezuela. So go Norway. You've got a good sense of humor. Okay, expand the map. So it is still hard. right? I don't want to like put rose-colored glasses on our ability to expand the map. Taking back the House is getting harder with these ridiculous redistricting efforts. If the Supreme Court overturns or kind of further guts the Voting Rights Act in a couple of weeks, numerous other states may attempt to redistrict and eliminate Democratic and Black districts, which in the South are heavily correlated. So that could get a lot harder. Stay tuned for not so fun news. But the Senate map is hard. We have to hold Georgia, Michigan, Minnesota, and New Hampshire. Georgia is incumbent John Ossoff. The other three are open seats. And then we have to flip some combination of North Carolina, Maine, Ohio, Nebraska, Iowa, Texas. Those are in roughly the kind of order that I think they're most competitive. Those are not easy. Even Maine's not easy, a state that voted for Harris. So it is not impossible, but it is hard. I want to lift up Matt Yglesias wrote another column this week. The title of it is "The Authoritarian Menace Has Arrived." And he says, I quote, "If we want to prevent Trump from eroding the judicial bulwark against tyranny, Democrats must win the Senate." I could not agree more. I don't always agree with Matt Yglesias, but on this, he has been a loud and proud voice, as have I, for many years about our need to kind of think beyond the traditional battlegrounds. Oh, there's Jack. So I will put that in the notes. It is worth a read. And, it sounds counter to what I said about Amy McGrath in Kentucky. We have to look at some harder, longer shot races. I just don't think Kentucky is going to kind of rise to that level. But, go Amy McGrath, prove me wrong. Shout out of the week goes to The Daily Show with their video about the Portland protests and ICE crackdown. My son is obsessed with this video now and wants to wear a inflatable dinosaur costume to the No Kings protests next weekend. He just watches this video and giggles, which is like, I think, a great reaction to what ICE is doing. Again, mark your calendar for next Saturday, the 18th. Go to a No Kings protest near you. It is important that we show up. Someone this week said the way that we wins are courts, crowds, and courage. And that really stuck with me. So we can go do our part as a crowd, and I'll put the Daily Show video in the notes. All right. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. This was a long one.